Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole.
A $1.6 billion gamble on the Las Vegas Strip, a quantum leap into a new era of tourism in Las Vegas, filled with art from old masters to a modern glass-blowing genius to the marvels of Mother Nature. It's a different kind of treasure, an Italian-themed island in the desert that's no mirage. Steve Wynn's newest mega resort is much more. I'm Newsweek's Rikki Cheese. Come along as the gaming mogul takes us for a guided tour of his romantic dream come true on the Las Vegas Strip, Bellagio.
Bellagio was designed to appeal to people who did not come to Las Vegas, in addition to everybody who did come to Las Vegas. To that extent, it was meant to be a place that was an alternative to Paris, to New York, to San Francisco, in a very real sense. Like Joel Gray says in the wonderful lyric in the opening number, Willkommen to Cabaret. In here, everything is beautiful. The girls are beautiful. Even the band is beautiful. And when I say it's nicer inside here than it is out there, I don't just mean the Strip. It's nicer inside here than it is in the real world. And this place was built to make people say, I want to stay here. There are quiet moments. There are moments when there is no energy, when you can go and stand and look. You can see the colors of real flowers and walk in this garden, and then you can go look at the colors of anemones and pineapple from Henri Matisse. You can hear the music, you can smell the flowers, you can get quiet. In here, if we're right, life is good. And you don't want to leave. If that's the case, you say, we don't have to go away. We can stay. We can take a trip and go to Las Vegas and be at Bellagio. That was the idea. That's a very ambitious goal.
It was a big change from going up here, the Golden Nugget, which upped the ante downtown, the Mirage, which upped the ante on the Strip, Treasure Island, which was sort of positioned right there between that and what was at that point our premier shopping center, the Fashion Show Mall. And now you have this bringing all of those elements together, the fantasy, the magic, the shopping, the music, the art, and taking it to an entirely different level. This isn't connected really to your earlier projects at all.
We're hoping, Rikki, that in the end, the most memorable thing about Bellagio will be its balance. And from the very beginning, the first line on paper, consistency and balance. Not the quick rush of a roller coaster ride, which is what the high energy of our casinos have been in the past, but the overall 360-degree kind of experience that catered to every level of your mood and every tempo of your mood. If you were feeling a little intellectual, if you wanted to be a little bit more refined, a little more subtle, and fine art was one thing. If you wanted to let it rip and raise hell, the casino and the other things were that way.
Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole.
And when it came time to make a commercial and advertise all over the country about announce our opening, we didn't say one single word except show the building, have Andreas Bocelli sing his song, and slowly show a few aspects of the place. Every single frame was this building. There was no matte photography. There were no shots from Europe.
There was no narrative, some announcer talking over the pictures.
The pictures were this place, and people got the message. We wouldn't dare fake a shot. Look, there's a lake. Look at the balconies. We didn't say, hurry, hurry, here it is, step right up. We just said, sing the song, show the pictures, keep quiet. And we said, and so it begins.
What are your favorite parts of the hotel?
It's impossible for me to answer the question because, of course, depending on my mood, to stand in front of the paintings is to die and go to heaven. to stand under Dale Chihuly's chandelier, to look at the flowers in the garden behind the front desk, to look at the conservatory behind me, to go in any one of the restaurants. Every one of them is designed by someone else. It's a trip. What is my favorite thing in this place? And the music and the fountains outside, which some of the local folks have been able to enjoy as we've been practicing. My favorite thing about this is not the shopping, although I love Armani and Hermes and Chanel and Tiffany. My favorite thing about Bellagio is the range of experiences that I can have in less than an hour and a half by walking from one part of this place to another. I can't do that anywhere else in the world. That's the thing that cracks me up the most, is the layers of experience. I can go sit on one of these balconies and have a drink and look at the lake. I can get in a small garden or a big one. We had the building alive the last 3 days. We had, friends and family, and we had about 15,000 people, all the families of our employees. We put the building under some pressure, ran all the restaurants free, everything but the games. Even that we played with play money. One of our employees walked in and said I wanted a seat in Le Cirque, this very high-end restaurant. So we don't have any right now. And the employee was from engineering said, wait a minute, I just won $1 million in play money. Don't I qualify?
I'm a high roller.
They said, the guy said, excuse me, come with me. I have to say one other thing. Money and good taste can get you the greatest tourist attraction in the world. Lovely beyond description. And if you don't have good taste yourself, you can rent it by buying great designers. Right. Money can get you good, and good taste can get you a remarkable place. But all the money in the world, and even as much good taste, can't make the best hotel ever built in any century on any continent. The big item comes down to service, to how warm and comfortable and friendly you feel. How much affection do you sense from the staff? Does it instantaneously become your place because you feel special? Only the 10,000 employees that we've recruited out of the 88,000 applicants can do that. So it always comes down to this. You spend all the money, you dream, you scratch around, you take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, and you end up with this. And it's something else. And that's fine. But for it to keep the promise, it has to be them. My big job this past Friday, and with all 10,000, was to get and lift this building off our shoulders and put it on theirs. Because from here on in, Bobby Baldwin, myself, everybody else in this company, we have only one job. And that is to create an environment where the staff can make this place and its dreams come true.
A dream come true is the theme throughout Bellagio. When we come back, we'll take you inside the most amazing art gallery in Las Vegas and show you how art is not just restricted to one area here. What makes Bellagio so unusual is the art.
The picture is the greatest single masterpiece of a female ever painted by Vincent van Gogh. Yeah. It's been in the Metropolitan Museum on loan from an anonymous owner for 10 years. Philippe de Montebello, when he heard that it was leaving, almost committed suicide, the director of the Met.
Really?
That picture was painted in the last week of June of 1890. Young maiden girl with the straw hat in front of a field of wheat behind the hotel he was staying in Auvers. 24 days later, he painted that the same week as Dr. Cachet.
Oh, really?
Same week. 24 days later, he went and stood in front of that exact wheat field and put a bullet in his chest. Took him a day to die.
What made you decide on these particular artists, these particular times in history?
These are my favorites. I've always loved Impressionism. So I started at the end of the last century. From 1870 to the turn of the century is Impressionism and Post-Impressionism. We're going to see it in a minute in the other room. But once I got into Impressionism, I bought a painting by Pablo Picasso that caught my fancy. To say it caught my fancy is a bit of an understatement. It started to haunt me, and it changed my taste in art. And Pablo Picasso, just as he had done to everybody else, jerked me into the 20th century, and my taste in art as well.
The fact that this picture particularly speaks to you says what?
Well, the point is it speaks to everyone, everybody I know. You don't notice it. It's what's known in art as a tough picture.
But Steve, you like this picture. This is your favorite piece.
I like
Why?
this picture because it was the first time that a painting ever started to grab me. I looked at it the first time and I said, ugh, what a cold and unfriendly thing it is. It wouldn't be good for here. And then I looked at it and there was something about her eyes. There was something about her. And when I walked in, it was hanging in my art dealer's office. And I looked at it the next day. And I said, can I look at it again? And I was trying to understand why I was sort of captivated. There's a presence to this figure, whether it's Picasso or Dorimar or all of us. There's a presence. And if you come back into this room 4 times, you'll begin to realize that your eyes are drawn to this picture. It's powerful. It's haunting.
And what is this room? What does that lead to? The staircase?
That's the men's spa on the left, on the right, the women's on the left, the exercise room in the middle, and it's the beauty shop downstairs. And the grand stairway going up with the painting that's going on it.
Now this is going to be your the 4 seasons we don't have here in Las Vegas naturally will occur here
Right, yeah.
at Bellagio.
And here this is obviously fall with the burnt oranges and the yellows and the bright oranges and this big 20-foot cornucopia. Isn't that a great piece?
Oh, that's great.
We had that made. It's made of pieces of oak strapped together like a weaving.
How long did that take?
It took them about 6 months to make this. And then we filled it with our big gourds and pumpkins. It's fall.
And this is actually going to be on display only for a few months, and then you're going to switch it out till
December 1st, the place turns into pines, evergreens, Christmas trees, poinsettias.
And after that?
We're going to Chinese New Year, and we're going to modify that scene by adding great, huge dragon and flowers here for Chinese New Year. And then I think we go into anemones or tulips, and then cherry blossoms. And then in the summertime, the bunting is red, white, and blue, and everything in here is going to be red, white, and blue.
Wow.
For the summer season.
Wow, amazing.
Each month we change the color of the bloom, but every 90 days we change the scent.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, the flowers last about a month.
Okay.
So we have a fall, a winter, a spring, and a summer setting. Here's a small pond over here. Maybe next time we got a Japanese garden. But, so the basic set stays the same each season, you know, for 90 days.
Right.
But within each season, we change the color of the bloom of the flowers 3 times.
Amazing. So you
So
can
every
come to
30
Bellagio every month and see something different
Every
in this
30 days, and we're
conservatory.
going to publish the schedule in a newspaper like the entertainment schedule. Tulips in January, anemones, and roses.
So for the locals, for some of the locals who have been feeling as if
Smell
they
it.
were excluded from Bellagio,
Smell the mums. It's a free thing. It's a botanical garden.
This is wonderful. You're going to come here and see something different every month.
That's it. Place changes personality. The magnolia trees are here just until December 1st. Then the mags go out.
Wow.
These are big, deep, like theaters. These go down 15 feet. There's hallways. Each one of these gardens has a big German lift in it so that we can't bring lifts in here. We'd hurt the mosaic. So we built a lift for each hole, had them made in Germany. And they stay down inside, all folded up. These are
Wow.
big metal tables on which the sets are sit. You can walk underneath here.
Wow.
And then there's hallways underneath. This is like a theater.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's not just a plant bed with
Yeah.
dirt. No, no, no.
Now we're going into what area?
The lobby.
Ah, the Chihuly.
Here's the Chihuly.
This is amazing.
There's 2,000 pieces of glass. Since you know about Chihuly, you have an idea what the value of one piece is.
Exactly.
$30,000.
Exactly.
One piece.
God. How long did it take him to do the individual pieces? How long has he been
18
working on
months.
it?
2 years. 18 months. It was quite a trick for him to figure out how to support it.
Why did you decide on Chihuly for this piece?
Elaine loves glass and introduced me to it, and we've collected Dale for a long time. And we thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to have that color? Isn't that scrumptious looking?
Amazing.
That's not the only scrumptious item in this resort. When we come back, we'll show you some of the many restaurants you can experience all under one roof at the Bellagio. You can have all the glamour and charm you want, but if you don't have the food, people won't want to stay. Food is not a problem at the Bellagio.
And here is Shintaro. A la carte food, Around the edges, teppanyaki in the middle.
And once again, open to the lake. Are all the restaurants open to the lake?
Except for Aqua and the Bellagio Cafe are open onto the pool,
Okay.
where we were,
Right.
and the garden.
But your main restaurants are all open.
Those are main restaurants. Either they're on the pool or the conservatory, or they're here,
So you've got water somewhere.
or flowers or gardens. Here's a restaurant across the way. That's our grill. It's Sam's American in New York City, down in the East Village. All the famous chefs in New York go down late at night to eat at Sam DeMarco's restaurant called First, because he is unique. And this is Sam's American. He lives here now, and it looks like the Flintstones. Jordan Mosier designed this place, and there's only one way to describe this.
It does. It's got a very prehistoric feel.
It's Sam's restaurant, and he was going to become a celebrity in Las Vegas. Sam DeMarco, you will love this place. Oh, is he a guy? And his food doesn't taste like anybody else's cooking. Remarkable guy.
Now we're... Oh, ooh.
Here we come into our shopping area. Etched glass ceiling, verdigris metal. Gucci, Fred Leighton, Armani, Chanel, Tiffany, Prada, Moschino, Hermes, La Perla. The shopping that is here and is about to open, including the Venetian, represents the largest concentration of first-class shopping in a small space on the planet. No one ever expected these developments in shopping and eating to take place. Las Vegas has become remarkably agile. And now, in the middle of this is Bellagio. Enormously expensive. Not for the sake of being expensive, but because it is ambitious in its scope. It includes things that, although in and of themselves are not original, they're classic. You know,
Are they, though, more unexpected in this desert
context.
setting?
Well, in any hotel setting.
Sure. But
The
especially Las
context,
Vegas.
especially Las Vegas, but actually in any hotel setting. Hotels are not places for great fine art. Hotels in and of themselves are not shopping destinations. Hotels in and of themselves are not great theater.
But this isn't a hotel.
Well, that's
It's
the
much
point.
more.
It is much more. It appeals to people's... I mean, here you can come into this lobby under the chandeliers and through the botanical garden out here. And here's a hotel that changes its entire mood for summer, for fall, for winter, and spring. This is probably one of the highlights of the hotel. You ready?
I'm ready.
Picasso. The chef, Julian Serrano, the most celebrated celebrity chef on the West Coast from Masa in San Francisco, lives here now.
Wow.
Works for this company. And this is the only restaurant of its kind in the world like this. This is my heart.
This is your favorite.
One of my favorites. Paulo, come on, boy. Did he get in? Look at the pots. This is going to be a wall of all photographs of Picasso that we're having framed. This is some vases. That's a painting of Francois Gillot, Claude Picasso and Paloma's mother, who married Jonas Salk after she's the only woman ever to leave Picasso.
You have single-handedly not just raised the bar here in Las Vegas, but created an atmosphere that no one ever would have thought 20 years ago we would ever experience. Did you set out to do that when you got into casino business, or has this been part of an evolution?
Step by step, yes, but the scope of this is all made possible by the things that have happened in between, and by our own progression and maturity in terms of design, the realm, the what, conceiving. Listen, you know, if you think about things that are totally irrelevant and impossible, then you're a hopeless dreamer. If you're always able to expand your thinking based upon what you've learned today, then you're growing. This is the product of growth. I couldn't have conceived of this early. This is what came later, which is good though, you know, because what comes next? That's the question. If this works, we're going to get a lot of chances. If it doesn't, I'll be in Guatemala. Come on.
At a time when regular Vegas-style gaming can be found in dozens of states and cruise ships around the globe, once again, Steve Wynn ups the ante with a new game, a new idea, a new reason for the world to visit Las Vegas. I'm Newsweek's Rikki Cheese. Thanks for joining us on this special tour of Bellagio.